Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is gonna be a tutorial slash get ready with me slash life update, all of these things combined in one, because really everything I do here in this channel is basically, even if it is a tutorial, it is a get ready with me, because I do that, all of that while I'm getting ready in the morning. I never sit down later on during the day and not get ready and just pretend to do this. You know, this is my life, this is how I'm gonna look. So this is very early in the morning. It's right now 4 o'clock in the morning and I have been busy for quite a bit already, so we're gonna get ready. I have to go to a recital. My kids, two of my kids are having a concert today. I have to go to a recital. And what else? Yesterday I had one of my big competitions. I'm going to tell you a little bit later about that, because I've been sort of talking about that it's a very stressful time in my life right now because of all my final exams and all of this. So yesterday was the first one, and we're going to talk about that. So what we're going to really do today is a neutral look, because a couple of weeks ago one of you asked me in the comment section to please do another tutorial for a neutral look. I think it was a comment under my last video that I did with a neutral classy look. So we're gonna do one of those again, because you know what, I'm not against that. I love my colorful looks, I love all of that, but sometimes it feels really good to just be classy. So I try to be classy also with my jewelry and also with my wrap and all of that, and I think I'm gonna really enjoy this. So yeah, and we're gonna use the Morphe 35G bronze gold palette. So I don't know what these numbers are all about. I never understand what that means. I guess 35, it's because it's 35 shades, but what is the G? I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, so I got this palette from my husband in February, and this palette has been such a blessing. Like, would you believe that this palette is a blessing for Leorah? It is. This palette is my go-to palette, to-go-to palette. It's my to-go-to palette when I'm stressed. This is my safe haven. Would you believe that or not? So we're gonna use some of those shades, and the look that we're going to create today is actually super easy. I created a similar look the other day, and all in all I just used 3 shades, so that anyone can do this. So I just want to encourage you, if you don't want to go for a super spectacular, super dramatic, colorful look, then I understand that, because it's a lot of work. It takes a long time, and I know that people who are not in fashion and not in makeup, you know, why would they spend that time? So this look is gonna not take a long time, and yeah, without further ado, let's zoom in and let's go right into the tutorial get ready with me combination situation. Okay, so I obviously did my brows. I did tightline my upper lash line, and I also put primer on my eye area. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I used to only use the paint pot from MAC, but actually now I'm doing a combination kind of a thing. Together, I'm still using the MAC paint pot in soft ochre on my lid and a little bit above, so it extends till above the crease, till about here. And then for the upper part, because it makes blending so much easier, I'm actually using this right here, which is, you probably can see this because it's super light. It's the Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in the shade Illustrate. It is a tiny bit, little bit too light for me. Next time I think I'm gonna go 1 shade darker, but I'm applying this just right here, like a tiny little sliver, and then I'm blending it into the soft ochre, because I'm telling you why. I tried it all kinds of ways. When I apply this on my whole lid, this creases like crazy. The blending and everything is amazing on this, but in the crease, it creases. I would not recommend you do that. So that's why, because I still want to have that effect that the blending is easy towards the upper, like towards the brow, I'm using the soft ochre because in this area, because nothing ever moves on the soft ochre, so that is really perfect for that area. But blending is really hard. It's a lot of work on the soft ochre. So on the paint pot, soft ochre. So I'm blending that into this, the soft ochre. I'm blending into this. Wow, am I making sense? Please tell me I'm making sense. And yeah, sorry my voice, I'm still fighting my summer cold, so I'm a little bit raspy today, but I'm fine, okay? Anyway, so that's what I did, and I think now we're gonna go and apply the first shadow. And actually I wanted to also update you on the Kiko Milano brushes that I mentioned in one of my recent tutorials where I just had gotten these. So this is a very fluffy brush, which is super nice. This is the number 56, and I was very curious to see how this performs after I wash it, and it performs well. So as you can see, it is still nice and fluffy and domed the way it should be, which I cannot say unfortunately about, for example, this brush, because this used to look exactly like this one, just that it was a different color. And after washing it one time, this one got all, you know, fluffed out and is not domed in this sense anymore. So that was a bit of a disappointment. This is a Sephora brush. Yeah, so but this is really nice how it should be. I'm still going to use this. It's just that I was very disappointed, you know, after just washing it one time, and it's not a cheap brush. So that's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to use this fluffy brush for my first shade, and in this case, for this neutral look, I'm going to just sweep something through my crease to warm up the crease. And I think what I'm going to use is, let me just check which shade that is. It's this one. I have the names clued up here because those loose sheets are so annoying. So this is the shade Naked. And it's just a warm brown, and we're just going to do like a really nice warm look, which is going to be super lovely and super flattering. And I'm just dragging it through the crease like this and a little bit above in circular motions, like tiny little circular motions, but in general I'm just sort of dragging it. And even if you want to just fluff it on here and then have it a little bit more pronounced here, you can do that too. That's also fine. I should maybe also mention that I never set my eyeshadow base. This is all the way it is. I don't use anything on it before I put down the first shade. So I'm basically setting my eyeshadow base with my first eyeshadow. So I'm right now still just putting down the shade. I did not blend this out yet. Just putting this on. And once I have reached the pigmentation that I want, then I'm going to start to blend out, because with shades like this, that is really not an issue. If you were to use like a really dark blue or something like this, you know, one of my more dramatic looks, I would be a little bit more concerned to just placing down the shadow and not blending it out, or at least just a little bit blend it out. But in this case, I think it's gonna be fine. Okay, now I'm using the exact same brush. I'm just wiping off the product from that brush, and then I'm just going to slide this brush over those edges here and blend it out. And you see how easy that is because of the Revolution cut crease canvas. It's so nice. I actually do not use that to do cut creases because, as I said, the second I use it down here, it creases like crazy, and I'm so unhappy about that. And I tried to set it also with powder in that case, because I tried to lock it into place. It's not working. But up here, just for this part, it is a miracle thing. I don't know, it made my life so much easier, and I highly recommend it. But as I said, you have to use it somewhere where you have no creases. So anyway, the reason I'm using this fluffy brush is obviously because I want this to be a very diffused look, which is super lovely without any harsh lines. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Of course, you do lose while you're blending. That's just a normal thing to happen. You do lose a little bit of pigmentation, but you can always go back in later and add more. Okay, just then don't touch this upper area that is blended already. Just keep the pigmentation then down here, really in the crease area. Now, if you want to deepen up or even warming up the crease a little bit more, and you feel like you don't have enough space to work with when you're using a big brush, then just use a smaller brush that is maybe like this. And do just that, you know, just dip it into the color and then just put it or push it really directly into the crease like this. And I just do for like very small oh sorry I'm losing my voice. I'm doing small tiny circular motions, just pushing it into the crease and really not extending very far up because I don't want to lose the blend that I have up here. So I'm just pushing it in, and while I'm doing that, because I'm doing these small circular motions, I'm blending it into the shade that is already there. Now, if you are in the situation that you feel you overreached the limit here and you went too far up, or it is not blending very well or anything like that, then you can always go in with a bone color shade or a skin color shade, whatever that is for you, and drag that over the outer, the upper corner, sort of, you know, I don't know how to say that correctly. And for that, because in this Bronze Goals palette, the only color that is sort of a bone color is this one right here, because this one is a matte, but it is way too dark for me, and this one is a shimmer. So I'm not very much into putting shimmers under my brow bone anymore. That's why for this one shade, I'm gonna go, and that's what I always do. This is my to-go-to palette for this one shade. It's actually the what's it called again? Love, Trust and Fairy Dust palette from Tarte. I have featured that on my channel quite recently too. And I'm going to use this shade, which looks on camera super, super white. It's not. It's just a very, very light skin tone. Like for me, you know, it's a light skin tone. And I'm going to use a brush that is fluffy. And I'm going to just dust that on. I'm not going to have a lot of product on my brush. And I'm just going to dust that slightly just around the upper corner, that curve, like this, and it sort of diffuses the whole thing even more. And we must also remember that this whole area up here was not yet set or not yet touched by any eyeshadow, so it was still very shiny from the Cut Crease Canvas eyeshadow primer from Revolution. So that is actually very good to just set it all into place then, like that. So now it's time to deepen up the look a little bit, and of course you can always take these looks much lighter or a little bit darker, a little bit more dramatic. I'm gonna try to not be super dramatic because I actually want to be true to the tutorial and keep it very classy, you know, because usually people do not take the looks to evening looks, what people consider evening looks on a normal day, but I don't care personally. But anyway, so for my next shadow, which is going to be out here in the outer V, I think it's going to be either this shade or that shade. So this is basically, they're both the same shades, just this is warm and this is cold. So I think because this was a very warm shade, I'm going to go with the warmer one, and that is the shade Tan Up. And I'm going to actually, which I usually don't do, I'm going to use that same brush and I'm just going to dab it in, and I'm just going to sort of stamp it on and just stamp and drag a little bit like this. Usually I use those smaller brushes. Let's see, something like that. This is small and stiff. I don't know if the autofocus is helping or not, like this, because the pigmentation is much harder. I'm stronger. I might still do that, but for now I just want to dab it on and see how much pigmentation I can get like this, because maybe it's going to be just enough, and that spares me then to blend a lot. You know, if I apply it with this one, it's going to be a very distinct area of application, and then I'm going to spend a lot of time blending. If I apply it now with this fluffy brush, because I want to have a very diffused look anyway, I'm going to save myself that work if it works. And I think it does. Something like that. So I'm keeping this shade here in this triangle. You know? Do you see what I mean? In this triangle right here in the outer V. And I'm just packing it on, so I'm stamping it, even though it is a fluffy brush, but it does work quite okay. And then I'm wiping off the product from the brush, And I'm going to blend the darker shade, that tan up shade, into the naked shade, which was the first one that we put down. I have no idea what just happened. My camera just stopped recording. I thought it was a battery issue, but it wasn't, and I have no idea how far it recorded or not. So if there is like a gap, I hope you understand. I don't know what happened. So now it's recording. I don't know. All right, so this is the next stage now, that we're gonna put down the shimmer on the lid. And I think normally people would go for a very neutral look for either of those shades, or maybe even this one, or I don't know. I'm sort of leaning into this today for some reason, because I also have a yellowish kind of a shade like right up here, and it's still gonna be a neutral look. Or you could put this down in the very inner corner and then have blend it into this one, and then blend it out towards the outer V. So I think, what am I doing today? I think I'm gonna go for that yellowish shade, which is the shade Soul, which is, I guess, sun, right? Is that so? I think so. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to go into that shade, and I'm going to use the brush that I actually showed you just before, which is a little bit like a stubby, a little harder brush. And I'm going to put the product on, and I'm going to spray my brush. And let's go. Oh, yes. This is going to be nice. I think this is going to be really nice. Don't you love that when you put on makeup and you think it's going to be really nice? So while I'm applying this shadow, I'm sort of dragging it up a little bit up here into the crease while I'm blending it out. Like this, and I'm just sort of fluffing it out, you know, because I don't want this to be a cut crease or anything like this. I'm just fluffing it out so it disappears into nothing. But just up here, obviously. Okay, so besides that, once I have put down the shade, I'm actually going to go in and put it on my finger, and over what I've put down already, I'm just going to stamp it down like this as well, because I always feel this gives me the extra coat and the extra pigmentation that I want to be like super special. And also when you're blending it out right here, I feel it is so much easier to get a better blend when you blend to get a better blend when you're using your fingers. So I'm just basically dipping it on top of that borderline between the darker shade, the matte, and this one, and just dipping it on. And then in order to again blend it, I'm using a different finger where there is no product on, and just, I don't know, I'm sort of smudging it into each other. For the inner corner highlight, I of course have to use the lightest shade in the look. So that's going to be, I think, this shade right here, which is the shade Glare. And again, I'm going to put that actually on a pencil brush, and I'm going to spray it also. And then I'm just going to have it like really focused here in that inner corner. Like that. Sometimes I'm taking my inner corner highlights like really big and flared out, but for this look I think I'm just going to keep it really on location. Okay, my girls, I did apply a eyeliner on my lower waterline, which is a very dark brown. This one is from Pupa Milano. Is it Pupa Milano? I think it's Pupa Milano. It's Pupa. And it's very dark brown. It's like, it almost looks black. One could mistaken it for black. And it is the shade T333C. I don't know why they cannot give it names or real numbers. Like, this is ridiculous. But I do actually like the eyeliners, just that the names, and that's not practical at all. Anyway, so I know that this whole thing still looks a little bit unbalanced because the wing, the real eyeliner on my top lid is not there yet. So I'm aware of that, but this is actually really how I do it. I do that first. All right, so now I'm going to take my concealer brush that I also used, that that I also use to apply my eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to go back into the paint pot of Soft Ochre from MAC, and I'm just going to slightly apply a little bit more of that under the eyeliner that I just put down, like that. So if you have very wrinkled eye, you know, if your eye area is very wrinkled, you might not want to do that. Even though I do not feel that in my case, I do start to get a little bit wrinkly there because, you know, I'm almost 40, but for me it still works, but I don't know if you're older, you might not want to do that. But I always put that down because, of course, when I'm blending out the eyeshadow under my lower lash line, it will stick to it way more and it will be more visible. You don't even need to put an eyeliner if you don't want that. You don't need to put that at all on your lower lash line. Just do mascara and be done. You can create a very nice, very classy and very open-eyed look with that as well. So I just want to create a little bit more depth by doing what I'm doing because I'm still me, you know. I still need to feel comfortable. So that's what I'm doing. And you see, I just keep it really, really close to the eyeliner. And then I'm going to take a very fine pencil brush that looks like this. And I'm going to take that shade. Which one did I take? The Tan Up. The darker shade that I also used to darken up the look here. It's this shade right here. And I'm going to just drag that underneath in a thin line, and I'm not going to blend it yet because that's what I'm going to do only once I have my foundation on. So I'm just dragging this in a thin line right below the eyeliner. Okay, so this is how it looks so far. I'm gonna go off camera now. I'm going to take care of my discoloration. I'm gonna do some color correcting. I'm going to put on some foundation and some contouring and all of that. I'm gonna show you what I used like when I come back. And I'm gonna do a wing and I'm gonna do lashes. Basically, I'm gonna finish up the look because the tutorial that are the eyes is basically done. The only thing that still concerns the eyes is once the foundation is on, I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and just fluff out the lower lash line, and that's basically all that is eyes concerned, you know. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to tell you what I did and what I used, and then I'm going to go quickly and tell you about my photo shoot. Okay, my lovelies, so this is the finished look, and I think it turned out really, really lovely. It is very classy and is very subdued for Leorah, and I really, really like it. So what do you think? I think it's really, really nice, and I'm gonna enjoy the recital of my kids today, and I'm gonna very much enjoy that people are not gonna stare me down because I have like green and blue eyes or something like this. So that's very fortunate for me today. Anyway, I wanted to zoom you out first of all, and then I'm going to show you what else I did. As I told you, I blended out the eyeshadow under my lower lash line, of course, once the foundation was in place. For foundation, I use always right now. As of right now, I'm using the Superstay foundation from Maybelline, which is right now my holy grail, and it works so well for me. It comes on very not dry exactly, but it sets itself really fast, so you have to really work fast to get it on, and it dries down quite a bit. So I always use my setting spray in order to sort of refreshen the look, but then it looks so nice and so natural and so flawless. So this is really my thing. Plus it is sort of affordable even for someone like me who goes through one bottle of foundation every single week. So yeah, I cannot have a Dior foundation because I would ruin my whole family. Anyway, what did I do? I did use a new contour shade, honestly, and this is also from Il Makiage. I have told you already so many times that I have those two shades, the bronzer and the contour, that I used to use all the time. There was Wannabe and Waka Waka, and that I would not have a reason to buy anything else. So now I got a gift card from Il Makiage, and so that's why I bought this. And this is actually way more what I usually use for contour shade, because this is actually cold. It's called Say My Name. and it's a cold contour shade, which is exactly what I need. So that's good. And now we're done. We're not buying anything from Il Makiage anymore. All right, unless we get more gift cards. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to show you. For blush, I used this one here from Essence, and this is the Adventure Awaits Get Sun-Kissed Metallic Blush in the shade Wanderlust Feeling. And it is a very, very nice metallic blush. I love it so much. I just found this, and now you will not believe this. I thought that this is the summer collection for 2019, which is this year, right? So no, I went online to check on what else is available, because we only get something like maximum half of the release. You know, there are more blushes in this line, of course, and this is the only one we got. And there are more bronzers in this line, but this is the only one they have. So things like this, you know. So I checked on what they have, and it turns out that this is actually the summer release from 2018, and we just got it now, which is a year later. So I think this is going to show you our situation here, which is absolutely, it's an embarrassment. It's unbelievable. I hate it. And if I ever get into the position to be of any influence in the makeup world, in this area of the world, I will make a difference, because this is not a situation I want to live in. Really, this is a year old, and we just got it. And if I wouldn't even have known that this is the summer collection from 2018 if I wouldn't have done the research. So anyway, they also come with two lipsticks, two bullet lipsticks, which happen to be super, super pretty. This one here is like a dark red. It's not what I'm wearing right now, but this is a dark, like a maroon shade. Super beautiful. It's called Kisses from the Orient, which is so fitting. And this one is more of a corally kind of a shade, which is Kisses from Asia, which is also fitting because we are both in the Orient and we're also in Asia. All right, what else did I use? I did use the Sakara Long Lasting Lipstick in the shade 111. This is what I used now. Now, this looks much, much darker right here than it applies, but the formula is so, so nice. And this, seriously, this is like $2, you know? Sakara is a very, very affordable brand in Israel, and I'm so surprised. I bought this just in order to be able to say this is not for me, it's not working, but this is working. And I always have this problem that everything starts to bleed into fine lines around my mouth because I'm not a teenager anymore. But this, even without a lip liner, it stays where it is. I can even eat with this, you know, like not super big meals or anything, but I can eat snacks and it still is on and it doesn't move. So that is really, really nice. And that is the Long Lasting Lipstick from Sakara. Who would have thought? Also, my lashes are from Sakara. They are also very affordable. They are something like $3, and I think they're super pretty. So why should I invest in something that is $30 if I can have something that is just as nice for $3? Really, you know, let's just be real. Plus, you know, my only luxury lashes that are luxury for me, Lily lashes, I think I've spoken about them in a recent video. They started to deteriorate on me after 3 uses, and they're supposed to last for 20-25 uses, and that is not cool, not for that price, you know. So these, I know I can use them maximum 3 times, and I know that from the get-go, and I know they're affordable, so I'm not fussing about it, you know. Anyway, so that is that. Then what else did I use? The highlighter I wanted to show you. I used the Living My Best Light Ethereal Highlighter Palette from Beauty Bay, which looks like this. And I used this shade right here, which is Daybreak Days. And I'm not so happy about the quality of this. I think the shades themselves are nice, but they hard pan like after the first use, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if you can see that they are pretty much hard pan, and I always have to scratch like crazy to get product off, so that is not cool. But I have to say that this palette was just $10, because Beauty Bay is not a very expensive brand, though still, if I pay $10, I want to have something that works, you know. So I'm still gonna use it because, you know, I'll sit here and scrape, I don't care. But you know, it would be nicer if it would be not hard panning on me. All right, is that it? I think I think that might be it. So let me just very quickly tell you about my photo shoot from last night. So I had the first part of my final exam. I'm studying in 2 courses, which is the Makeup Masterclass and the other one is the Media Pro. I've spoken about that already quite a bit. In Media Pro, I will have 2 exams, or I do have 2 exams. The first one was yesterday, and I'll have one next Thursday, which is the day when you see this. I have my last part of my final exam, and the Wednesday before you see this, so yesterday for you, I also had my final exam in my masterclass. So I have to come up with themes, I have to come up with a model, and I have to do the whole styling and the whole layout, the whole vision board of the look, what I want to do, and then create it, and then of course produce it sort of on picture, you know. So yesterday I had this photo shoot and I turned my model into my version of a Pocahontas, which is like a Indian Native American princess, if you don't know, and I think it's a princess, or it's like a tribal chief's daughter or something. So let's say it's a princess because it's just so nice. Anyway, so I did that, and you would not believe how good she looked. I'm gonna contact her and ask her if I can include a picture of her right here. This is not the official picture of the photo shoot because I don't have those pictures yet, but it's just a selfie, but she looked so gorgeous. So I'm gonna try to, if the picture appears here, then she gave me the permission to show it. Anyway, I was so happy, and I can say with some confidence that we came in first because it was just perfection. So I loved that because I was very stressed to go there. I had a very hard day even leading up to going there because the photo shoot started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the day before was really hard, and I had a lot of anxiety issues just because my husband is overseas right now traveling, and I'm alone with my 7 kids, and I have to juggle babysitters and all these the end of school year events and all of that, and preparing for all of my exams, and filming and editing and all the normal work that a mommy has to do. So I was super stressed, and I always get to this that I'm actually like inside I'm shaking, and the outside doesn't show it. My hands are not shaking or anything, but I have this like a real issue that I feel like my insides are shaking, and that is so scary. But first of all, my model, hi Bella, she was amazing. She was so helpful in the way she sort of helped me, you know, how she moved her face and everything, and accommodated me putting on makeup, and she was sort of giving me suggestions, you know, what do you think about this with my hair, and is that good for you, do you think you like this? And she was super sweet. And because sometimes you have models that are absolutely not cooperating and refuse to do stuff, which is ridiculous because you're there to model, right? So anyway, we had a lot of fun, and she, without a doubt, and I'm not saying that because I did her makeup, but maybe just a tiny little bit, but without a doubt, she was the most beautiful person there. So I'm super happy about that, and I hope my 2 remaining exams will go just as well or even better. I think for the last 2 exams I will actually model myself, which I also love, and we'll see. We'll see what happens, if I can still come up with a model or not, or, you know, I love to model myself, so maybe, most probably that's what I'm gonna do. And once I have all the pictures of my final exams, I'm gonna do a video where I'm just gonna show you the results of my work, okay? So that might take though a while, so we'll get back to that later. Alright, so that turned out to be a much longer video than I had expected because I just wanted to really give you a short update on my life, which never works. It's never short, and I wanted to give you a short tutorial. Yeah. Anyway, if you like this kind of a video, then please give it a like. If you're new here, I would love it if you were to subscribe, because I love you to be here, and I love for my channel to grow and for my tribe to grow, and to just add more beauty into this place, which is my favorite place in the whole world to be. More than anything else, this is where I want to be. So if you want to be in this place with me, then please join. I would love that very much, and I will see you here next week. I don't know what just happened to my camera. It keeps stopping on me today. I don't know. I hope this thing is not breaking down because I just bought this like 7 months ago and I cannot buy a new camera now. So I hope this is working. This might all sound for you a little bit jumbled up because I don't know what's happening, but I hope it's gonna be okay. Anyway, yeah, so I'll see you next time for my next video, which is gonna be for you next week. And I'd love to see you here again. And up until then, go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Love you so much. Bye.